Assalamu alaikum, sister. Thank you for writing to our live session. As I understand, you're 24 years old and you're a practicing Muslim. However, you're really worried about a situation that occurred 8 years ago when you were in college. Apparently, you would casually chat with a guy, but then your friends started talking to him or texting him and they got into a relationship. Whether or not they're married or not, I'm not sure. You did mention. However, you currently like his best friend and you're engaged to him. But you're afraid that this guy might expose you. Sister, the key words here, right, are casually chat and 8 years ago. In 8 years, sister, you've grown a lot, right? When you were 8 years ago, you were a teenager in college. Now you're a young woman. You've grown a lot, not only as a young woman, but you've grown a lot as a Muslima. You've started taking your religion more seriously. You're pious. And things have changed, correct? And on the other hand, with this guy, when you were 16, you casually chatted with him. Now, I understand that in your community, as you stated, is very strict. However, it could have been a lot worse, right? I mean, there's a lot of, teens in college and high school who do a lot of other things. And I think you know what I'm talking about, right? But you only casually chatted with this guy. Now, this may be a big, huge thing in your culture and where you live. And yeah, it's haram because there wasn't a third person present. But I am sure that you have repented for this because I can see in your question how much you love Allah. I'm sure you've repented for this. And Allah, in His mercy and His love, forgives and He covers. And that's what He's been doing. And sister, honestly, if you're happy with this guy that you met and you really like him and you have a lot of things in common and you want to move forward and marry him, I really encourage you to do so. And being that you have repented, I ask that you please just have faith, iman, in Allah, right? Have faith in Allah that this situation is covered and Allah has forgiven you. Should it come up in the future, which I doubt it will, but should it? Your question and answer to anyone who would dare bring it up would be, Allah has forgiven me. Are you above Allah? Right? So, I guess what I'm trying to say, sister, is that this happened in the past. This happened when you were a teenager. You have grown. You're a beautiful, young, pious Muslim, young lady right now, young woman. You're no longer a teen. And, teens and people grow and change. And that's a positive thing. But if you keep thinking about the past and worrying about the past, when that's not you anymore, it's only going to hamper your future. It's going to steal your happiness and your peace of mind, right? And if you think about it, the only thing that you should really have been concerned with was Allah and repenting to Allah and Allah's mercy and forgiveness. That's all that matters. And as you've repented sincerely, and as you've grown as a young Muslim and learned and have become more pious and aware of things, Allah loves that, right? He loves it when we grow and we can become closer to Him and we become stronger in our deen. And really, Allah is the only one that we need to be concerned with and that we need to please. And with that said, as far as the boy that you talked with casually and probably very briefly, he probably doesn't even remember that, right? Because really, honestly, it's not like it was a mind-blowing experience where, you guys had a relationship for years and you committed zina and you did all sorts of terrible sins. That was not the case. That's something somebody might remember, right? They would definitely remember, yes. But casually talking with somebody, I don't really know. But I understand your concerns, sister. I do. And I validate your concerns. But I am encouraging you to look at who you are today, how you've grown, how you were basically a teenager back then, and how brief it was and how casual it was. I'm sure, like, if you go into a store and there's a clerk and it's a male, you interact with them and talk with them, right? I mean, I'm not sure how that's viewed, and I know it's not the best example, but in terms of innocence, right? Just chatting with a guy is not going to be the end of the world. Sure, it's haram. Sure, there should have been a third person present, but there wasn't, and you repented, and it's over with. Sister, please, if you care for this person, you don't need to say anything to him, because really it's between you and Allah, and nothing like major happened. Okay? So please, move on with your life. Put this behind you. Because Allah wants us to put things behind us when we repent to Him. He wants us to leave it alone, to let go of it, to let Him deal with it, right? So leave it alone, trust in Allah, and get married to this brother, and be happy that you've met somebody nice and somebody that you're compatible with. That's a blessing from Allah. We wish you the best.